Hello, welcome back to the RV list. I'm just going to warn you, I'm having camera issues. I bought this new little fancy setup. I don't have a high-speed HD card, so it keeps filling up on the one that came with it. And anyway, I'm done with it today. I'm back to my old camera. Hopefully the lighting and everything's okay. It's, you know, to me it kind of zooms in and out. It's weird, but we're going to get all that fixed. Anyway, so I am out here at an RV resort. It's called Water's Edge. Make sure that's it. Okay. In Conroe. It's really nice. So the difference between resorts and regular RV parks is you have other special amenities like a pool, mostly like a pool or a bar. And this one actually has the pool and the boat docks, and it's got some cabins. And I think it's got tiny houses down here because I saw one for sale that you can actually buy. So anyway, that's the difference. And at some point I'll go into a video about what I use to schedule these kind of things and all that. So, but today we're going to cover the wants and needs for your kitchen. I say needs because, you know, we all need something extra that we don't really need. But anyway, I just did the bathroom and bedroom at the last video. This one's going to be a little bit longer because there's quite a bit of stuff that you use for your kitchen that you don't even realize it until you start cooking and stuff. So first thing is I'll cover is a few little appliances. Your coffee pot, of course, if you drink coffee. I don't drink coffee like every day, but I do like to have it on the weekends and things like that. Also, if you're boondocking, like you're traveling and want to stay at a Walmart or whatever, they do make these little funnel coffee maker things, and those are really handy because I don't know if yours is the same, but when I use solar I can't use plug-ins. It's just for my lights and my refrigerator and things like that. So I've got this little cute coffee maker thing, so you can always do it that way. You have to boil water, which I use gas stove to do that, and then pour it in there, but for all other times I use my Keurig. Now these are the only two appliances that I have. The one here on the left is an air fryer, little tiny air fryer. It's like this big. It's really cool. So it's just for me, and I really like using it because you can't, you know, it's hard to put French fries on a skewer and put them over the fire. So anyway, and you can pull this out, make something real quick and be done. I made shrimp the other night. It's really good. So we got that, and then on the right you have a little tiny toaster oven. That's what that is. Because at some point you're going to want biscuits and gravy. Now my brother's really talented. He can make biscuits over the campfire, but I can't. So I just pop some of them in there, get it done. So it's nice to have like a little toaster oven. Unless you have your own oven. But again, it could be really hot. Utensils. So I went and got a lot of this stuff at the resale shop because they sell bundles of utensils. Super cheap, you know. Some of this I also found, you know, at Walmart or whatever, super cheap. But notice that right below the strainer there at the top, the second item down, what's the first item? It's a bottle opener. But the second item down is a can opener. Make sure you get a can opener because it's not fun opening a can with a big knife. You know, gonna end up hurting yourself. So that's a big thing that people usually forget. Another thing there, cheese grater. I kept forgetting my cheese grater. It's hard to grate cheese with a knife again. Scissors are really handy too, so I use them a lot. And so, of course, don't forget your dish towels and your pot holders. Probably be needing those. Now, silverware dishes, I'm bad. I'm using plastic silverware right now, but that's okay because I don't like eat off a fork and throw it away. Usually I'll kind of rinse it off and use it all day or whatever. So I'm trying to be better. This RV actually has a drawer, and I was so excited. I think Forest River finally listened to us, and they were like, okay, let's put a drawer here because this is under the stove. It was just empty space, and I always wondered why they didn't use this empty space. So they put a drawer here. They put some shelves in and stuff too. So I'm just all thrilled that I have so much storage, and I still have like empty cabinets. I'm shocked. But anyway, back to our silverware. I use plastic. Make sure that you do have a set of metal silverware though, like silverware. You will need that, like if you're trying to cut a steak or something. Those plastic knives don't work very well. And you don't want to use your big old chopping knife, so then you can have a set of metal silverware. Also, you'll see in here I have a couple of little doggy bags, because I always seem to forget those, and then we run out, you know, especially, you know, if you have a dog. And then I put my trash bags in here too. Don't forget trash bags. Alright, pans. I buy cheap, thin, light pans, because if you go out and you buy these big ceramic heavy pans, it's going to add to the weight of your RV. A lot of people like the big cast iron. I don't like those anyway. To me, I can't get them to work, and they're heavy, and so, but I just buy cheap stuff. Again, I got some of this at the resale shop. I normally only have to use a small skillet, a larger skillet, a small, you know, pan with a lid, and a bigger pan with a lid. That's really all you need if you think about it. I also have that little tray that actually fits into the toaster oven, so it's kind of nice to have an extra little tray there. That's really all you need. Just make sure that you have at least a skillet and a pan with a lid. Cutting board. Need a cutting board, of course. I always forgot one before. Make sure I get these little tiny ones here, and I can slide them right up underneath the sink. It's really handy. Alright, it's up to you. If you want to use plastic dishes, make sure you get plastic dishes that are microwave safe if you want to use your microwave. The last set I had, I couldn't use it in the microwave, so I would have to put it on paper, plastic, whatever, microwave it, and then transfer it over to my other dish, which is kind of useless after that. So if you do get plastic, do that. I'm right now using paper. If you use paper plates all the time, make sure you have at least one glass dish too. I've found that really handy for like stuff that has a lot of sauces or steaks. You want to cut, it's hard to cut on those paper plates. So make sure you at least have one or two, or one glass plate for each person that you have. Collapsible little bowls, those are kind of cool. I found those online. And then don't forget your measuring cups, your measuring spoons, especially if you're going to do a lot of homemade cooking. Make sure you pick those up. Salt and pepper, that's in there too. Okay, if you do have to do dishes, which you still end up having to do dishes with paper plates, which I hate, make sure that you get a dish strainer. This one I found is really handy. It actually collapses, so you can pump it back up. It's got a little drain hole in there and a little funnel that goes right into your sink. This one's really nice. But it folds underneath and you can shove it up underneath your sink. And then cleaning supplies, I kind of keep them in a box together. I have dish soap, which maybe I'll go back and show you, but the Woof Pups, I don't know if all the Forest Rivers have this, they have a sanitizing pump on their sink, and I fill that with Dawn, because it's just handy to have it with Dawn. You just squirt it right into your sink. I have some dish stuff in there, little small spaces, deodorizer, that's where I store them. Some of the Swiffer things, and then the little spray bottle there it's just got some orange cleaner in it. I have a huge container at home that I use, and you dilute it with water. I just put some in that spray bottle. That's what I use to do a lot of the sanitizing cleaning. Keep them kind of in a box underneath the sink. Another little hint, this is a great place for a safe. Up back behind that sink, you can get those flat safes and put them up behind there, and then you can strap them to the piping. I did that before. I kind of hid a few things in there. Luckily it was empty when my RV got stolen, but kind of a good place if you think you need to carry some cash or some pew-pew or something like that. Anyway, you can stick it back there in a safe. It's a good idea. There's another view of the sink there underneath. It's how much space you have. This little contraption, I don't know why, but I just love this thing. I just stick my sponge in it. It's got suction cups that you can stick on the side of your sink. It's not sticking well for some reason on this sink, but I like this thing. Yeah, I have one at home too. Just a little recommendation. Okay, so here's my stove. A lot of the stoves are built this way. They have this glass cover, so be real careful with that, because if you just got done cooking and your grates are still hot and you put that cover down, it's going to break. It's going to shatter from the heat. It's going to bust, right? So I've heard some terrible things online. Make sure your stove is cool before you put that glass back over it. I don't like just leaving the glass setting out like that either. It makes me nervous. I'm going to drop something on it. Really famous about dropping everything I touch. So I buy these little drain mats, and I put one on there. So it kind of keeps the glass safe, and then you can also use it when you're washing dishes or whatever. Helps kind of utilize more space there. Thermometer is good to have. You know, you can kind of see. It was kind of warm in there that day, I guess. You can also see your humidity. It's important to kind of keep your humidity lower than that. But I was just milling around taking pictures at this point. Trash can. Don't forget your trash can. This RV actually came with one. I was like, wow, this one has a trash can, so it's kind of nice. So the next thing I'm going to show is kind of like staples. And I do this because I got to where I was buying a little container of flour every time I went out. I had like 10 containers of flour at home. So I keep a few staples in the RV. I keep flour and sugar. You can see back there in the back. I don't know if I'm supposed to show brands on here. I might get in trouble. I don't know. But I like to keep dry milk because I don't drink a lot of milk at all. I like to make the dry milk because you can make it with water and cook with it. It's really, really good to have on hand, and it doesn't spoil. Some oil. I've also got coffee creamer, Ziploc bags, foil, you know, again, trash bags, things like that. I kind of keep this all in one container, and I keep it up high because you don't always use it, but it's great to have when you have it. I figured out this trip I think I need to get some baking powder and baking soda because I was wanting to make something else on this trip, and I didn't have those, so I might add that to that. Spices. I'm trying these little things. I don't think I like them. The reason why, my refrigerator isn't metal. I can't stick anything magnet to it. I was kind of surprised at that, and I'm glad I tested it with my little thermometer before I bought the spice containers with the magnets because I wouldn't have been able to hang them. Although I did figure out that my window things right here, the ones above the sink, are metal, so I can put them up there. But the problem with these spice things is when you're trying to measure them out, you can't get it out, and you can't take the top off because then it reveals all the spices and you're pouring all your spices. I'm not a big fan of these. I may change. Make sure that you put rice or a pinto bean in with your spices. That'll keep it from getting hard from the, you know, humidity and things. Found that out real quick too. So anyway, if you have a better spice idea, let me know. I'm probably going to end up buying the little, they have little metal ones with magnets on the bottom that you can stick to your refrigerator, but I'll stick them up to this little window covering thing that they have here. But let me know if you have something else for your, you know, for your spices. Another thing I keep, and of course you have to take this back and forth, is butter. A stick butter is really nice to have. You can cook with it. You always need it, you know. Don't forget your butter, because I ended up buying tons and tons of sticks of butter. I try to make sure I put them in my ice chest when I leave every time. Containers for your refrigerator. I don't know what all I have in there, but anyway. These are really nice because when you're traveling and you've got stuff in your refrigerator, it goes everywhere. So I try to put enough containers in there where they're stable, like up next to each other. And then I put my stuff in that. It's just a lot easier. I was just throwing everything down into the crisper, but then you got your meats and everything mixing up with your vegetables. I'm kind of picky about that. So if you get these little container things, it makes it a lot easier. And I found an egg one. It's pretty cool. I just fill it up when I leave the house and I have eggs. You know how expensive those are right now. And then drinks, beverages. I don't drink a lot of soda anymore. I drink a lot of Sprite though, and I guess that is considered soda. But I keep that in the fridge. Yeah, I usually do the cans. I'm bad. But I also have this Brita filter. I don't know if you remember, I mentioned I filter my water twice. The filter out there and the filter in here. I'm very picky about my drinking water. If I go out of state, I buy bottled water because I can't deal with the taste. I have an issue with the taste of the water too. I can taste it. So usually when I'm around here, I'll just do this, filter it, and then, you know, buy bottled water. I also have the little packets of drink stuff that you can put in there, make it taste better. But this is nice to have, and then you can also give it to your doggy or whatever you need to do. And speaking of doggies, you will also need supplies for them, any kind of food. I bring my food back and forth. It kind of makes me nervous to leave canned food, and you know, she eats the little Beneful chicken stuff, and I'm afraid to leave that in the heat, so I do bring her food back and forth whenever I'm camping, kind of like with my food. And that's about it for the kitchen stuff. Now, if you want a good tip, I have this notepad on my phone, and I have a section here. Well, let me cover this stuff. It's called Standard for Trips, and it's a list of everything that I normally need for my trip. Dog food, computer, you know, I need to clean my fridge out at home, I need to do the cat box, all this stuff. And I copy and paste that, and then I check it off as I go. That's just a little hint. If you keep forgetting things, put it on your phone on a list. That's my list. I also have a lot of other things on here, just like codes and stuff to my door, because I'm so forgetful. I have some places on here I'm going to visit. So it's kind of nice to kind of have that right there, because usually when you're on the internet on your phone, you see something and you're like, oh, let me add that. Anyway, there's a good hint there for you too. That's about it for the kitchen. I think we'll do the next video on the inside stuff, because this is getting kind of long, and my camera's going to shut down here in a minute. Anyway, the next video will be other stuff around here that I do, that I suggest that you do. And then I'm going to do one on security, especially for solo women. I wanted to kind of cover what I do. So anyway, those are going to be the next videos. So I hope you stay tuned and you share and you know, do whatever. And hopefully if you buy an RV and this is helpful, let me know. Because that's really why I want to post these videos, is to help others. So let me know about it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!